Hello, welcome back to this channel. I'm Parvati, a fluid dynamics student. So welcome back to this series where I introduce you to a concept or phenomenon related to fluid dynamics, and we see if we can weave a story out of it, because sometimes it helps us to retain the important bits of a concept or a phenomenon, or sometimes it helps us in not getting confused between two concepts, and most of the times because it's fun. So today I'm going to be talking about something called turbulent plumes, and this topic is very much related to the research that I'm doing right now under the guidance of my supervisor. So maybe in 2-3 months I'll show you what I've been up to all these days. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so turbulent plumes are something that we see around us in various forms, like smoke plumes from chimneys, clouds, volcanoes. Okay, I don't have a volcano around me, but if you have one around you, then this applies to you. And thank you for watching the video from there. It makes me feel very special. Okay, but all that aside, the classical way to mathematically model this physical phenomenon is to assume that it is completely self-similar. Now, what do I mean by self-similarity? This beautiful animation that you see is one such example, which meaning that as I zoom in more and more into the picture, the pattern resembles the initial pattern. Now, what does self-similarity mean for a turbulent plume? It means that as the height varies, properties of the plume like mass, momentum, buoyancy, which we will talk about in a while, have the same pattern. The blue curve that you see in the picture is what I mean by it. Then we are going to lightly brush upon what happens inside a plume and what is it that makes it wider and wider as it goes higher up. So now for simplicity, we are going to put the plume in the bottom of a room so that we can avoid the condition of the environment being stably stratified. Now, I'm just dropping this term here. We can talk about this in another video because it's a really nice story to stable stratification as well. By plume in a room, what I mean is any kind of a heat source at the bottom of the room, continuous heat source. I hope it's clear from the simulation that you see right now, and no windows. Now what happens is that since the air above the heat source is warmer than the cold air surrounding it, which is shown in blue color, it rises up due to something called buoyancy. What happens next is very interesting. This hot air rises up and a process known as entrainment occurs. Entrainment is nothing but this hot air in the plume welcoming or entraining cold surrounding air into its territory, thereby making it wider and larger as it goes higher and higher up and making it spread. Now what I feel fluid dynamics is telling me is pretty much something along the lines of, united we win, divided we fall. What sounds even more effective in the words of Helen Keller. It goes something like, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Also Buzz Lightyear. Now if you feel this topic is interesting, a good place to start would again be this book by J. Stern. It's called Buoyancy Effects in Fluids. Also, you know what? Just opening a Wikipedia page of plumes and then clicking on terms that you don't know is a great place to start. I do that for several topics and I think it's a good way to start as well. So yeah, that was the story for this week, and next week we will talk about a very wholesome phenomenon that happens most of the time around us. Pretty much everything that happens around us is related to fluids, so I guess good for us, more stories. So I'll see you next week on Wednesday. Till then, take care. Bye bye.